like, if we're going to let him be a living emoji, let's have him just be a living emoji. Hi, we're the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa and you.
And this is our K-drama actor series all about Lee Joongi. Lee Joongi is one of those K-drama actors that is just, from the moment we started, he's just always been there. Because he started his career back in like 2000, but his breakout role was The King and the Clown. And that was in 2005.
He's definitely a top star.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
right?
He's huge.
What was so fascinating is I didn't fall in love with him until Flower of Evil, which was what, like 2 years ago? The man's got a filmography that is like miles long. And I'm like, where did you discover him? Flower of Evil. Like, I'm like one of the worst K-drama fans ever. It's hilarious, but I'm a huge fan now.
Well, yes, but that was the role. That was the role of a lifetime.
It really was,
yeah,
right.
Because if you look through his K-drama library, his resume, the roles are really different from Flower of Evil.
Oh my God, so different.
Yeah,
it's just he's just one of those guys that just. Oh, he started the Flower Boy movement back with The King and the Clown. He kind of started that Flower Boy movement of that look. But he's also, a black belt. So it's just very strange.
He's lots of contradictions.
Yes.
He's definitely a multifaceted person because he's got very fine features and he's very tall and slim. But like you said, Taekwondo, like upper echelon, I don't know what you call it.
He's got like many levels of black beltness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it's fascinating.
Which is why he must have been cast in Resident Evil.
Right. Did you? I watched that. The movie wasn't great, but that scene was amazing.
The final scene with Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Resident Evil, the final
chapter. Until the next one.
But that was his one Hollywood movie, right?
And they basically saw him doing a fight scene. I remember watching an interview, and the director had watched like him doing another show, doing a fight scene. He's like, I need that in my movie. Ooh. And that's how he got cast.
Wow.
So what I find fascinating is that the fight scenes is where I am most drawn to him. When I see them, and he does a fight scene in almost every drama now. Like,
well, he needs to.
He's so good at them. But then there was Flower of Evil.
Right. Well, there was such a gravitas and a weight to and a hurt to that character. That was just
I just loved it so much. All right. So we always do in all of our podcasts about actors. When was the first time you experienced Lee Joongi?
I think I first saw him, I can't believe I'm going to say this, in 7 First Kisses.
Oh, my. 7 First Kisses rears its ugly head again.
It's not a drama. It's a web series that came from Lotte department stores. And it's pretty old now. So you have to go back. I think I fell down. This was when I fell down the Ji Chang-wook, Lee Min-ho rabbit hole at the beginning of my K-drama watching. And it's about a young woman who works at a department store, and each little webisode is her hooking up in a very innocent, virginal way with 7 K-drama stars. Well, 6, and Kai from EXO. So I wasn't familiar with Lee Joongi, but I recognized that all of them must be superstars. So, okay, I guess I'm going to explore all of their libraries, and that'll help me figure out what I'm going to watch next. And then I think I tried Scholar Who Walks the Night and Orang and the Magistrate, and I have to say I didn't get very far.
I'm not sure which one was the first that I watched of his. I want to say it was actually Lawless Lawyer.
Really?
Yes.
Not Gunman of Joseon? No.
I didn't dive down those rabbit holes until after, because I enjoyed Lawless Lawyer. But again, Lawless Lawyer was the Lee Joongi best of the best of the best of the best. The character that he continually plays, right? And so I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but I wanted something a little bit more. So I went down that rabbit hole. And the one everyone keeps yelling at us to watch is Moonlover's Scarlet Heart,
yes.
Royal. But you can't get it.
You can't get it. If you speak Korean, it's on Netflix Korea.
Okay.
But I checked because I have a VPN. Thank you, Surfshark.
I do.
but it's not subbed.
Oh. But see, that's the one that everyone also clamors for. So that's the one I would like to end up watching.
I'm not sure.
But
I'm not sure you would enjoy. You have to go in with the right mindset.
Right.
Because it's ridiculous. And it has a terrible ending.
I've heard the ending.
Yes.
The ending still seems to be table flipping, irritating. It upsets the fan base. Like, people are still screaming for either a season 2 or some sort of ending that is satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
So the only other one that I've actually finished is 2 weeks, which is deep, deep in his... It's like 2013.
Oh, I tried watching that too. And I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. This is heavy.
Yeah.
It's sad.
And but I was all into it. I actually watched the whole thing. Yeah. But then I watched Flower of Evil.
Yes.
I was in love.
That show just, it was at the beginning of the pandemic. Is that right?
It was pretty close.
Yeah. We needed it.
Oh, yeah.
We needed that place to go to, because even though I guess it was darker than the lives we were living at the beginning of the pandemic, but it was so good. And the storytelling was amazing. And his chemistry with Moon Chae-won and just the serial killers and then all of those storylines. It was so good. But then it had heart.
Yes.
There was a family at the heart of it.
Yes. I mean, listen, egg tarts are now my favorite thing ever because of that. His relationship with everybody in there. And I think that's what it was. Like every other show, except maybe 2 weeks. And maybe that's why I stuck with 2 weeks. Every other show that I've tried to watch with him, it's the on Lee Joongi. It's the entertainer Lee Joongi. And 2 weeks and Flower of Evil was a different, just a whole different persona of his. And I was really drawn to that.
I felt that he was an actor portraying a role, and he had done his homework and he had found this character and he had made it his own, and he was really compelling to watch.
Right.
Because then after that, he did Again My Life.
Oh, Again My Life.
Again My Life.
Listen, I enjoyed it for what it was worth, but it just got dull. Like after a while, it was just like, where are we going, show? Like, but I will say, there was moments that I found that he was not that. He had his cheeky moments, which is just it's what you expect, and you can't have Lee Joongi without like him being cheeky and, witty and that kind of stuff. But he did have a lot of moments that I found enjoyable, especially towards the end of the series. And I don't know if that's because he had just come off having COVID. And so maybe his energy levels were much lower.
Yeah. He really, like that final debate scene, the bags under his eyes were so prominent. I think COVID really did a number on him.
I think it did. And so there was a much more, and I think maybe that's what I'm drawn to about Lee Joongi. When he plays to that less need to entertain people, that, that's when I like him the most.
I mean, the thing with Again My Life is it had that bravado that he embodies really well. But I think for me, one of the issues was the show was also like that. Like the one, I forgot to mention this in our live chats, but every week, the theme song that they would play over and over when he was connecting like with the one member of what do they call them in Korea?
I think assemblyman.
It's like the song it's an Anglican hymn. It's I Vow to Thee, My Country. Which I grew up in Canada and went to a very, very uptight English girls prep school.
Okay, is that the one that sounds like
da 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 da?
Is that also the one that also kind of sounds like it's the Darth Vader? The
Darth Vader?
The one. It sounds like it's the March of the, what is it called? The Imperial March. I don't know if it's the same one, but every time it came on, I think that was the bad guys theme song.
Yes.
Like it would come on every time you saw him, and I'd always be like, "Is this the Darth Vader Imperial March?"
That's right.
And someone mentioned to us that it was actually another classical famous piece of music, which I apologize, I do not have it right in front of me. But Caitlin and I both were on Twitter being like, are we hearing the same thing? And we're like, yes.
Right. So when it's heavy-handed and Lee Joongi is over the top and it's
just, I like him so much.
Yes.
But there's
in the right project.
Exactly. There's just, and I wonder, because when you hear about Again My Life, you hear that he turned it down a couple of times.
Oh, really?
And so it took a lot for them to get him to do this one. So I'm curious as to what made him suddenly go, yeah, I'll do it, or yeah, I'm in. Because coming off of Flower of Evil, this one just didn't seem to have the heft or the depth that I felt like he was happy with where he went to with Flower of Evil.
Right. The true seriousness.
Yeah.
This was a caricature.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if someone would offer him a comedy next.
Like what? Let's see him fully play a comedy then, right? Yeah. I would love to see that.
Well, I remember his cameo in Hotel Del Luna, which was the reunion with IU from Scarlet Heart. So that was fun. And he played an over-the-top exorcist, right?
Which should be like, if we're going to let him be a living emoji, let's have him just be a living emoji.
All right. So that's our plea to the KDrama Gods.
Just let the man do a comedy. Like he wants to do comedy. His soul is screaming for a comedy.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say someone was like, all right, so I just watched the final chapter of Resident Evil. And this Lee Joongi guy was pretty cool. What K-drama should I watch? What are you recommending? What are you having them tap into first?
Flower of Evil. It's the one.
It's the one.
It's the one.
It's the one.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes.
I could watch that finale as a standalone, all on its own.
Oh, it was beautiful how it wrapped up.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Okay.
Lee Joongi, we love you.
The K3 is Jen, Marisa, and you. You are part of this K-drama community, and our podcast and our live chats on YouTube are supported by members like you. Check out our memberships, and you can support us for as little as $3 a month or more. And each tier gets you access to great K-drama perks, like a calendar every month with premieres and finales, watch parties with some of your closest K-drama BFFs, private Zoom chats where we can squee and quibble all we want and it'll stay private in that room, and a little bit more, and you might even get some K-drama goodies. So go to Ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/the K3, click on memberships and support the K-drama Coffee Break.
All right, so there you go. Our top recommendation for Lee Joongi is, of course, Flower of Evil. But if you want something else, a little bit more of his wacky side, we definitely think it's Lawless Lawyer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. Any final Lee Joongi thoughts, Marissa?
I would like to personally go to one of his fan meets because they look like they're the ultimate. He'll have multiple choreographed dance routines. He'll sing. I need to be at one.
I can't wait. We're gonna have to go to like all of them just to say we experienced it. We'll just be the Ajamas in the back corner going, "Is this gonna be so good?" All right. We'll see you there, Lee Joongi. We will see you in Korea. All right. Until next time, we're the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa, and you are part of this K-drama Coffee Break. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.